everybody, this is Diane. I completed the first Heidi journal, put it in my shop, and it is sold, and I'll be mailing it out Monday. Today's Saturday, and I thank you very much for the purchase of that journal and for the items that I listed this morning. I just listed some de-stash stuff and some, I think most of it was de-stash, and I sold most of it. So I am getting started on these Heidi journals, the Wonder Book and the Golden Book. I had already made the cover and I had the pages cut. So I have added the eyelet and ribbon trim to the front edge of each signature. And I have done the stamping inside. And that's about it. So now we're going to think about pockets and whatnot. So what I want to do on the inside, on the front of each signature, just like with the other one, I want to use a handkerchief. So I'm just going to go through and pick out a handkerchief. I'm not going to cut them or back them to cardstock right now. You saw me do that in the other videos. I think this would be really good in this journal, so hopefully I'll find a page that it looks good on. So I'm just going to pick the handkerchief that I want to use for each page and then move on to something else. I think we'll use this one here. I did find another Heidi paper doll, so I'll talk about that too. I'll show that to you. And perhaps this one here. The pockets are going to be kind of narrow on the front because I have the ribbon and I don't want to cover the ribbon. This one has a pretty little embroidered square on it. And the rest of the hanky is blank. I'll just cut it to the fold, and I know that's wider than I need. So that'll give me something to start on Monday when I come down here to work. Oh, I think this would be good right here. This would be a tall pocket because I don't want to cut this border off. If I feel like I have to, I will, but I'm going to try not to. I'm just going to cut on the fold for now. this one or this one maybe. This one has some holes in it, but it's going to be glued down and sewn to cardstock. I hope you're all having a good Saturday. Let's use another square of this. Okay, handkerchiefs are selected. Now I'm thinking that in the center of the signature, I just have a scrapbook paper and it's white on one side. So I did a stamp up at the top, and I'd like to put a pretty pocket on both sides and then put the paper doll in it. So let me talk about the extra paper doll that I found. I looked in my paper doll drawer again to see if I had anything that would look like Heidi, and I have these paper dolls that are, they're like fairy tales, and there are a few dolls and they have clothes to match, and each doll has different characters. Well, this doll is actually named Heidi, and she has the Heidi dress on. She's not in good condition. I had to put tape on the back of this because it was bent right back and it would fall off easily. And I had to put tape on her neck. And the way it was perforated, it cut a piece of her chin off, her jawline off. But these are her clothes. So she's the shoemaker fairy with the hat. This is Gretel from the Hans Brinker story. So she's got her skates here and her Dutch shoes. And we have Rose White from Snow White and Rose, no, I thought it was Rose Red. Snow White and Rose Red. Anyway, this says Rose White on it, and she has a white rose in her hand. That looks like it could be a Heidi dress. And this one is Thumbelina and Rapunzel. So your Heidi can play dress up. Now here's a funny thing. As I was picking out, going through and finding the tags that said number 2, which is Heidi, there was another Heidi doll, or no, more Heidi outfits. So I thought, well, I must have had 2 sets. And I had gotten this little golden book out that I made for myself, and look what's on the back. It's the Heidi doll. So I had a few duplicate outfits. I'm not sure where I put them now, but I gave this doll all of the outfits, and if there were duplicates, I'm putting them in my journal. So I think there were 3 duplicate outfits. Anyway, so this book is going to get these dolls and these dolls that were on the cover of the paper doll book that wasn't punched out or anything. So all of this is going to go with this book, and then this book will get where the other dolls go. I just took these out of it. Here they are. These dolls and all these clothes will go in here. So what I want to do, like I said, is put a pretty pocket, double pocket in the center here, and put the dolls in here. And then maybe in the second signature, I'll have Heidi's clothes, and in the third signature I'll have Peter's clothes in the center. Something like that. I don't really know what I want to do for the pockets yet. It'll probably just be a cardstock pocket, but I'll decorate it pretty. I have these two tags that we did in previous video, one for each journal, and I have these pieces that we did previously, one for each journal, one green, one yellow. And I think that's all the ephemera I have ready made. I have a lot of things die cut. And I have the Mrs. Coggs Heidi images cut. I have this leaflet from the Virgin Islands, but it's for Little Switzerland. So they have Little Switzerland on St. Thomas, St. Croix, St. Martin, and St. Bart's, with clocks and stuff. I don't know how old this paper is. It is vintage, and it probably was given out on a cruise. I'm sorry, I am off camera. I apologize. And then I have this image taken from a Heidi book at some point. I don't think it was any of the Heidi books that I used for this project, but I have that. I have a few more illustrations from all three of the books that I can make stuff with. So one thing I think I would like to do is use these paper sacks because they're wider than some of my journals. And so I was thinking I would put one on the back of one of the signatures. And I think I had this one picked out to go on this pink. And I started collaging a little, or, picking out collage items. So let's work on these. I have the blue one picked out, a blue one picked out, and a pink one picked out. I just tore this from the text block. All of this came from the book that I just made into a journal, the one that I already sold. I'm going to adjust my camera a little. So I just tore a piece of the text out of it. And I have these that are cut from the Corinne Malvern Golden Book. So that's Heidi and Clara. And this is one of the labels that I just cut with my Big Shot. I did a video on my small haul and some pieces that I die cut. I don't know where I want this yet, or if I want it. I've got some little doilies here I can play around with. That's a little corner piece. I like this one better. Yeah, I think I like that. And I think I want to add something else. I like this the best. Let me see these. I've got some numbers that were cut out of a magazine years and years ago, and I like the shape that they're in. If I could trim around that better, because it's not trimmed closely. I think I like that. I like the shape of it. It goes well with my Heidi things, I think. And now I'll just glue everything down. Okay, here's that bag. I'll make a nice big card to fit in there. And I'll glue it right there. I could use one of these pages to make the large journaling card. Possibly that one. I'll probably use this card, this to make a card, and this. That might be a pocket, I'm not sure. That could be a card. And Peter and the Goats, definitely. I love this scene here though, but I'll use Peter and the Goats and that one. So, I'm not sure which one I'll use, but I think one of these pages will be turned into a card to go in that pocket. So now let's do this one. I have this piece. And this one. This one would be a good pocket, but I think I like it on the bag if I put the book text behind it. I'm not trying to pay too much attention to the text, but I didn't want it to be a page where Heidi was upset and crying. The first one I looked at, she was crying. And there's that one. Oh, I was going to put the pockets on the striped one so I wouldn't cover up that pretty floral pattern, but we'll still have that. I forgot. So I'll put it on this one. Because this takes up pretty much the whole page. Okay, now I want to, I guess I'll think about the center pocket for the paper dolls. I should show you the goats. I used one of the goat stamps in the first Heidi journal. I have a set of goat stamps that I got at my friend's yard sale, the Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And there are 3 goats, but they're rather silly. I picked the tamest of the 3 to use in the first Heidi journal, but I decided to just let these journals be whimsical. So I'll show you the goats. Oh, is it on this page? No. Oh, I know which page it's on. It's this one. So this is the goat I used in the first journal. It's just a goat chewing a flower, and obviously he's a cartoony goat. And that's something you would see a goat do. Chewing a flower. That one's a grumpy old goat. In fact, I think there's a stamp in there that says, "Happy birthday, you old goat." It came with that set. And this one, you're not going to see a goat doing that. Isn't that cute? I put stamped "Enjoy the Simple Moments." That did not come with the goat set. Okay, so back to working on pockets. I'm going to look at my cut off paper scraps. That one, so I won't use that. I want something different. I like the stripe. So this makes the pocket 3.5 inches tall. And 5 inches wide. piece of hair. Doesn't want to leave. I could use Mrs. Cog's images on here, maybe. Maybe they're a little too tall. They work. That's a possibility. I don't know if that's what I'll use. I'm gonna ink the edges because these are light color. Maybe I'll just put a piece of the Pioneer Woman embroidered ribbon on these at the top. I like the ribbon, but I don't think I like the picture on top of the ribbon. Oh, I like that. I could cut another one of these, because there won't be any page in between. You'll see this whole spread together. So I'll just have to make sure I have enough of this blue color to cut another one before I glue that down, because I want them both to be the same shade. Do we like this ribbon with it, this color? Because this is a red shade, but it looks more coral. Now that looks, I'm sorry, pin was in my mouth. That looks nice. I like that, but because of that color up there, I think I'll go with this, because that would make that color look out of place if this was all blue. This is my own thinking. You know, there are no rules. I don't know what I was measuring that for. I needed to measure this. This would go, but it is darker than that. If I have to, I'll cut 2 out of that. Well, I don't have another piece of blue cardstock that shade that I can find. So I'll end up cutting another, I'll cut a pair that match with that color, I think. That'll be perfect. Put one, like their main outfit, in with them in this pocket. She's holding a goat there. I don't know, maybe that would be his main outfit. I think I'll put this one on her. I'm playing paper dolls. And I'll find a hat for her, but I'll have these on them, and that will be a cute center of signature. It's the wrong book. Very cute. Crowding myself in again. Put these away. Lots of clothes for these dolls. I guess I'll use the pink striped one in this one. So 5 inches by 3.5. I'm not even going to round the corners on these because I put trim at the top. Now I could have switched the pockets and put the blue here and the pink on the other one, but that's okay. And that other paper doll will go in these pockets, whatever I did with that doll. I think I'll put these dressed ones in the front pocket. In the first signature, I mean. They're cute. And I'll make a medallion for that too. And I think I'm gonna be done for the night. It is Saturday. It's supposed to be my day off. But I wanted to get a little work done. Thanks for coming with me today. And I'll see you in the next video. And I hope you're having a creative day. Bye.